This mock exercise, we're going to take a look at a company called Dill Company. We're going to look at pricing decision, product profitability, and cost management. Let's take a look. The following financial data applies to the DVD production of the Dill Company for October 2012. So this is how much was budgeted, the budgeted cost to make a DVD. So materials is $1.60, labor is 90 cents, variable manufacturing overhead is 70 cents, fixed overhead is $1, the total cost is $4.20. Variable overhead varies based on number of units produced. Fixed is $1 per DVD based on the budgeted fixed manufacturing overhead of $150 per month and $150,000 of DVD per month. So that's often the case, isn't it? When you're allocating a fixed overhead cost per unit, it's always based on some sort of budgeted actual or budgeted total for the entire year. So how much was the budgeted overhead and how much is the budgeted per unit production? That gives us a budgeted manufacturing overhead of $1 per unit. The Dill sells DVD for $5, so that's their sales price. Marketing costs have two components. There's fixed and variable. The fixed is $65,000 per month, and variable is 5% of revenue, which is 5% of $8. Okay, it's 40 cents per unit. Or is it 40 cents? I can't even add any these days anymore. So 8 times, yeah, it's 40 cents per unit. Okay? Now, October 2012, Lynn, a company salesperson, asked the president for permission to sell $1,000 at $4 to a customer not in Dill's normal marketing channel. So it's just a special order. The president refused the special order because the selling price, $4, is exactly below, right? The $5. And it's also below the total manufacturing cost. So not only it's below what we normally sell it for, but it's also below the total cost of manufacturing. So part 1 says, what would have been the effect on monthly operating income if they accepted the special order? So let's look at the analysis for part 1. So it's the special order. What is the revenue? The incremental revenue for the special order is $4 times 1,000 units. Now, what are the incremental costs, which are basically variable cost? So direct materials, we're told, is $1.60 times 1,000. Direct labor is 90 cents times 1,000. Variable overhead, manufacturing overhead, is 70 cents times 1,000. And variable selling it should be 40 cents times 1,000, right? Does that make sense? Am I doing this wrong? Well, we calculated it, right? It's 5% of revenue. Oh, but revenue isn't $8. I don't know where I got my $8, first of all. I guess this is $5. Sorry. But really, it's 5% of $4, isn't it? So it's really 5% of 4 times 1,000. Sorry, that was my bad. Okay? So that's $200. And the total incremental cost is $3,400. And increase in operating income is going to be the difference between the two, which is $600. Now, this calculation is going to assume that the total fixed cost, so let me just show you. We're going to assume that this 150 and the 65 are not going to change. So fixed costs will remain unchanged. And we're also going to assume that this $4 that we're going to charge, the special order, is not going to affect the entire customer base. The other customers, they're not going to be affected. Okay? And that's why it's called a one-time special order. And that's the key. If the one-time special order becomes a repeat order, then it's no longer a one-time special order. And we have to incorporate the impact of the rest of the business. So this is why it only affects that 1,000. Now, the next question says, comment on the president's below manufacturing cost reasoning. So he's saying it costs us $420 and we're going to sell for $4. And that was the reason why he rejected the special order. And the answer is, the president's reasoning is defective, right? It's slightly not correct based on two areas. The first one is they included in his cost, they included the dollar, the fixed overhead. So you know that fix is based on an allocation of the total fixed overhead of 150 divided by the number of units per month budgeted production. So that is an artificial allocation to the per unit. And given the fact that we're going to increase it by 3,000 units, it shouldn't affect the fixed cost. So to me, it's not relevant by adding the $1 to the decision of whether we should accept or reject the special order. And the exclusion of the relevant cost, the variable selling cost, are excluded as well. So he only used this against the 4. So first of all, the mistake is he added the 1. And the second mistake is he should have added the 5% because that's for commission. Because that is part of the variable cost, the incremental cost of selling that. So that's where the president was wrong in two fronts. So I'll write that down here. So president is incorrect because he added the $1 fixed overhead, which is not relevant in accepting the 3,000 special order. And 2, should include the 5% of selling price commission in his calculation to determine whether to accept or not. So he made basically two mistakes. And the third question says, what other factors should the president consider before accepting or rejecting the special order. So the other factors are the other factors to consider is impact on existing customers. If they found out that we're selling this for $4 instead of a regular $5 per unit, that's going to create a problem with basically problem with the rest of our customers and our product profitability. And B is this really a one-time special order? The fact that this customer is not in Dill's normal marketing channel does not necessarily mean it's a one-time special order. It just means that we haven't been targeting that particular marketing channel. So if Dill ever wants to maximize or increase their customer base, then they've just now changed the price for that particular channel to be $4 as opposed to $5. So this is where Dill must have to look at not just the short-term profit of $600. He's going to have to compare that to potentially shortfall in profitability in the long run if these two ever happens. Okay? Thank you.